Hey friends, it's Friday. Hi, Svava Brooks here. Good to be with you. If you're watching the replay, thank you for taking the time. I'm abuse survivor coach and this is my favorite part of my day. 5 times per week I get to hang out here with the gang, support my fellow survivor thrivers on the journey. Yes, exactly. Good to see you, my friends. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, please feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from. Would love to hear more about you. We are from all over the place. Right, guys? I'm doing good. Bear with me. Trying to set this thing up. We are here from representing England. Yes. Bear with me. It's crooked. Hold on, guys. I think it helps. The cat and you are there. Nice. Nice. So hang in there while I try to set this up. It tends to cooperate when I have the power cord in. Then it doesn't slide all over the place. It was kind of quiet earlier today in our Facebook group, so I just popped in there again to see what was up. And there you guys were, all of you. Hey Lisa, good to see you today. Your kitty cat is there. You're feeling seasick? I'm sorry. Things were too wobbly. So I think I got it now. Now I just have to see if I can reach for my tea without knocking everything over. I did it. I did it. So thanks, guys. So how was your day? It was a good day. We're going to talk about today, right? How did you make yourself a priority today? So we're going to talk about that. Sounds like you guys had a good day. I had a pretty good day too. Hey Lisa. Good to see you. Glad you're here. How's the packing going? Well, I'm looking around my room right now here. She's put boxes in here and and we took apart her bed. So she's sleeping on the mattress for the next couple of nights. I did all her laundry today. And yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So, and she has a friend that's flying in tonight and is one of her roommates that she's moving to San Francisco to go live with. And so he's flying in tonight and they're gonna go out, hit some bars tonight. See the young people. And then tomorrow they're gonna go hiking. He's never been to Portland, so she's gonna show him around and go hiking. And then Sunday morning, bright and early, they're packing up the truck and driving to San Francisco. So, but yeah, so today was a lot of chores. Laundry, errands. Yes, they do. They have stamina. You got that right. Exactly. He is in for a treat. They're going hiking. Well, I don't know if you guys remember, we got some really big fires here in Oregon, in the big Columbia River Gorge this past summer. And so there's still a bunch of hikes or hike trails in that area that she was really hoping to go see because there's some beautiful waterfalls. But they're gonna try to hit and get a nice hike in. So yeah. But I got my walk in. I went for a walk this morning. I tried to take a picture, but my phone died. But each time I go out, there's more pink on the trees. The cherry blossoms are starting to come in. And oh my gosh, I'm promising you guys, when the trees in my yard start to bloom or in my street, I mean, I have a bright pink and a bright like purple tree. I mean, you look at it now, it's like green ho-hum tree, right? But when they start to bloom, I'm like, my mind was blown when I moved to Oregon, my first spring here. I had no idea. The trees bloomed like that, right? So yes, so my day was good. I'm gonna share about that a little bit later. It's like, how did I make it to my top list today, right? Took really good care of myself and caught up on some emails and stuff, and then I had to go run an errand, and so yada, 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 here we are. When the magnolia comes out, yes, exactly. Starting to see some of them too. Very little spring color here, a few crocuses today on the bike ride. Yes, I can see them everywhere, yellow, white, purple, blue. They're beautiful. Daffodils. I love it, love it. Makes me so happy. So happy. Lisa, what about you? How are you seeing some spring colors where you are? You pick magnolia and make syrup. I have never heard of that. Rob. Lisa, you have snow still? Where are you? And where are you, my friend? Please remind me who you are. None here, just snow. I'm still learning you guys' names, so please help me out by introducing yourself. New Jersey. Oh, there you are, Chrisanne. I thought it looked familiar. I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So good to see you. So still snow for you guys. All right, you East Coasters. There was a lot of snow that came down just a few days ago, right? Just warming up here. My daffodil's not out yet. I tried for the first time last year. Great in coffee. Really, I am fascinated. Rob, you're gonna have to tell us more about that. So keep us posted. I have never heard that before. So Lisa, are you staying indoors? Chrisanne? Guys staying indoors? Then this weekend, is it too snowy and cold to go out? Yes, that's definitely different. That's one of the things that I've been working on. Cold and snowy, yeah. So you're just bundling up, staying indoors, cozying up, going to watch your grandbaby. Yes, Chrisanne. Such a beautiful baby, her first grandchild. And I'm so glad you're here. I was actually, yesterday, I was driving, where was I going? And I was thinking about you, and I was thinking of reaching out to you this weekend if I didn't see you online today. So it's glad to know you're here. I know you got a lot on your plate right now, sweet woman. So hang in there. Hope you're taking really good care of yourself. So I'm glad you get to come and hang out with us, because we are a silly bunch, aren't we? Nice. Yes, I was just about to say that this year, I've been focusing on getting rid of sugar, taking sugar out. And so I'm curious with any natural sugars. I was thinking about you last night too. Aww. That is so sweet of you. I'm so glad you listened to so you watched the replay last night. I think I've seen you a couple of times I've seen that you watched the replay, and that's good too on those days when you can't make it here. And the same for you, Lisa. and a few of my other friends that I know watching the replays. I'm really glad that you do. Always warms my heart to know that you guys are checking in. And let me know. Feel free to shoot me a note. And hey, Jeremiah is back. Hey friend, how are you doing? We haven't seen you in a few days. Well, was it Friday last week? Yes, it was a week ago that we met you here, right? So how you been? We're doing great. I'm doing very well, thank you. We're just catching up. I was about to dig in a little bit. We're talking about our book here in a short minute. Good. We were actually reflecting on, spring is coming. In most parts of our world, we tend to start with the weather report here. So I think you said, right, you're in Canada? If I remember right. I don't mean to put him on the spot. Oh. No, it's an old one. Well, I'm glad you are back, and you can always watch the replay. So see, I remembered that you're in Canada. So my memory isn't so bad. That's very British, talking about the weather. Well, we have, some British people here, and where I come from in Iceland, that's definitely the thing to do. Talk about the weather, right? Well, we also talk about it because I'm encouraging all of you to spend more times outdoors in nature. Nature is our sanctuary. And nature is the best place to practice mindfulness. I love, because it's like, I love trees and I love flowers, and I just love nature, even just feeling the cold wind on my skin. And I noted that today on my walk, that it brings you present. You have to be in the present moment. Yeah, I hear you, Sue. And when you're walking, right, you have to pay attention where you're putting your feet down, right, or you'll fall flat. So I always think about, being mindful as we're walking. It's a great practice. And if you want to take it even further, I've shared this with you guys before, I sometimes will, in being very intentional, to remind myself, if, this used to be an issue, not so much anymore, but when I would feel like I didn't have support, I would remind myself that every step that I put on this planet, Mother Earth, I can trust her. She meets me. I can unconditionally, not with no worry, when I put my foot out there, she meets me. She supports me every step of every day, right? It was just a good thought. So if you're ever feeling down, not feeling like you don't have any support, I would encourage you to try this. So when you're out there, exactly, allow yourself to know, yes, I am supported. Again and again and again. And sometimes I even take it further, where I will allow myself to draw up the gravity holds us safely on the earth. Exactly. Feel the love and the support from Mother Earth, pulling it up through the bottom of my feet. I'm doing a lot of meditation, and that's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a lot of breathing, where I will pull in energy from Mother Earth, and I will exhale, let go from my energy body, because we have multiple bodies. We're not just the physical body. From my energy body that has held on to a lot of pain. And so letting go of that pain through my exhales and intentionally sending it into the earth. Do you have a vegetarian or vegan diet? Yes, I am a vegan. So Yes, I do, my friend. My whole family is now. And it's been, I see it's been a part of my healing journey. I don't push anybody to become vegan. It's a very personal decision. But for me, it's blown my mind how much I can heal my body through food, and how much vitality and energy I can feel in my body when I'm eating organic, whole food, plant-based food. It's like, I feel like somebody has just shot, giving me just a shot of vitamins. Vegetarian, they will usually do eggs still. I don't do any dairy, no animal products whatsoever. So it's been a journey. And Jeremiah, that's a conversation maybe for another scope, but I know you love to ask questions, and we love your questions. We had fun. So not stopping you. I'm always game. You're welcome. All right, guys, are we ready? Because Jeremiah, I'm like you. I'm always asking questions. So we're starting in the book, and it's Friday, and I thought it was perfect. On day 68, we are celebrating. Because you guys are here. It takes courage to show up and be here to have this conversation. And we're going to talk about my favorite topic, you. Choosing you takes courage. Yes, my friend. When you commit to putting yourself at the top of your priority list, right? It makes toxic family members uncomfortable. Why? Because anytime you honor your truth, you're unknowingly asking them to question their truth. Right? We get that, right? And this is sometimes why we, have to put some boundaries or distance to some people, right? If these are the people we've been growing up with, and all of a sudden, exactly. Yes, exactly. So it's interesting that, when we start changing, not everybody's going to like it. And Sue, you've mentioned that yourself a few times with your, with some of your family members, right? That they will push back. What do you mean you aren't going to keep cleaning up after me, right? As my kids got older. I was on the bottom of the list. Now I'm on the top of the list. And they're big kids. Shut down is the reaction you get. Yes, I hear you. Yes. So can you say more about that, Chrisanne? But what we want to focus on, because we can't change other people. We can't take responsibility for other people. Exactly. Why do you have to be like that? Exactly. Because we've accommodated them for a long time, right? And then all of a sudden we're like, listen, this isn't what's helpful for me right now. I've been accommodating you, yes, because you were a child. You're big enough to do this now. Yes, they feel threatened. They may feel threatened. Well, I think they feel threatened is that, when we question our values and our habits, it's sometimes the unintended consequences is that it maybe forces other people to do that too. And so maybe that's what you mean. Yeah, that's how they may feel threatened. Like you're changing. Things are changing, right? Exactly. So then what we are focusing on, right? I was with my daughters last night, just hanging with the baby. . Face reality. and it's anxiety provoking. Yes, it can be. It can be when things are changing, when there's things that are uncertain. So, but what we are focusing on right now, right, on this healing journey, as we are releasing our authentic self, choosing, you know, being courageous, choosing what we need and what we want, because we are recognizing it's my responsibility to make myself happy. It's my birthright to be happy. And I can do it. I'm not sitting here waiting for anybody else to make that happen, but me. So what do I need? Not just happy, but fulfilled, right? And take care of my needs. I'm responsible for this body. I'm responsible for this life right over here, right? So what can I do about that? So then we need to start focusing on ourselves. And we've often talked about how we were the last on the list. Now that we're moving ourselves up higher on the list. So the question for today, how did you put yourself on the top of your priority list today? So start to focus on, okay, every day, how do you start your day intentionally putting yourself on the list, taking good care of yourself? And then what does choosing you mean to you, right? And again, this can sometimes bring up some feelings because we haven't always chosen us. We weren't taught that we could choose us. We weren't taught that we could ask for what we need. We weren't supported in getting our needs met, right? Many of us raised taking care of other people or accommodating others, right? For a variety of reasons. So I would love to hear it. How did you put yourself on your top of your list today? And if there's something that you are still navigating, you know, what comes up for you, you know, when you are considering the possibility of doing that. And I shared even yesterday how I used to resent my husband because he was really good at that. He was really good at, you know, making sure he got his food on time, that he exercised regularly. And I just, self-care was just not on my, you know, I didn't know. I had no idea. I was just very, very disconnected. So in the beginning, I was very resentful of him. So, Chrisanne, the thought of it makes my anxiety rise. All right, that's good awareness. That's good awareness for you, friend, for you, my friend. Still getting used to feeling myself on top of the list, and it's an awkward feeling. Yes, exactly. I appreciate you guys being honest about this. It's like things are shifting here. Things are shifting. It's new, exactly. And what can come up for us is like, well, am I being selfish, right? What are other people going to think about me, right? So can you each speak a little more, if, you know, Chrisanne, if you feel comfortable, share a little bit about, you know, where do you feel that anxiety is coming from? Meaning, you know, what's possibly the belief? Because we know our core beliefs that may have been distorted because of our trauma tend to still live within us. And because of that, then when we choose something that goes against that belief, it will make us feel a little bit anxious. That you're not worthy. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chrisanne, for that honesty. And Rob here, I get the anxiety too. I missed that second part there. If you can share that. It's like this is like new territory, right? And because we have walked around with this belief, because, right, this was the story and the truth perhaps of our childhood, and for many, many years after, you know, that this was what was mirrored back to us, that we kind of have to choose and reclaim a new truth for ourselves. Feel exposed and vulnerable. I hear you. Rob. I hear you. I hear you. It feels risky in the beginning, right? Sue went out and had fun in a cycle group. It was good to feel. I'm sorry, I'm not a fast enough reader. So, but I'm glad, Sue, I could see it in the picture, Sue, that you shared in the group, that you were having fun and that you were happy. It was great to see. So what I wanted to say is that how can we, both start small? Because if we are gonna start with like a sweeping big change, thinking we're just gonna, okay, from now on, 8 to noon is just all about me. I mean, that's too much, right, to start with. But if you can start, doing something very, very little for yourself. And for me, I needed baby steps. And so when the kids were little, and after I took them to school in the morning, and I felt horribly guilty doing this, I would go maybe to a coffee shop and buy myself a cup of coffee and go window shopping. I love thrift stores. So I would, get myself a cup of coffee, go to my favorite thrift store or an antique store and just walk and look. Good feel. I could do it because I was having fun. It's new for me. Yes, Sue. Yes, exactly. It's new for us. So what I did in those early years when I started doing this, drinking my coffee, I'm like, I'm not spending any money, right? Yes, the laundry and the dishes will wait until I get home, but I'm just going to take a little bit of time for me. And it felt like I was going to be caught doing something bad, right, guys? And I was like, after a while, I pushed myself in the beginning to do this maybe once or twice a week. And it felt kind of hard in the beginning. It's like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? I should be rushing home and, cleaning my house and whatever. And then I was like, the more I did it, I'm like, wait a minute. Of course, I can take some time for me. I'm eating muesli and cutting meat intake, so I have to plan my meals which is self-care. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Beautiful. I love that. Have to get used to it. Thinking about myself. Exactly. Exactly. And thank you for sharing that, Rob, because that's really what has happened for me around food. Now that I've just kind of discovered food again, I feel preparing food has been really, really important for me. Like I've mentioned, I'm very blessed. I have a husband that loves to cook. But sometimes I'm like, honey, I'm going to make this meal because it's important for me to do it. I need to do this for me. I need to go through the steps of, preparing my meal for me. So then please, don't be too hard on yourself about this, because this is pretty normal that once we recognize and are starting to choose something new for ourselves, our old ways will always kind of come up a little bit and maybe resist and a little bit of pushback, right? So kind of expect it, but also understand, because that part of you has served you well. That choice that you maybe, unintentionally chose, is you're recognizing you're wanting to start to choose something else. So for a while, we have to be very intentional to choose this new way of being and feeling. Went from zero processed home cooked, so fast food. Nice. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Any step in that direction, awesome. Any little steps in that direction. I mean, in any change, small steps, the best way to go. The best way to go. So again, then what does choosing you mean to you? We can dig a little deeper in that. We recognize that health, yes, is important, right? And self-care, I see very few things as important as taking care of our health, because the truth is the stress and the trauma creates a really toxic environment in our body. It's, you know, the stress hormones, just the tension in our bodies. We talked a little bit about this. It's eventually our biology will break down. It can't contain that amount of stress forever. And that's why people, you know, that have been through a lot in childhood end up ending up with, you know, some challenging chronic diseases later in life, because so much of it is because of stress. And that's something that's why I'm pushing you guys to start to go outside and start to move your body, do a lot of self-care along with our healing journey as we're changing our thoughts and our feelings, right? Is that we also start to implement a little bit of self-care, because it's a very important part to bring in. Hey friend, welcome. Welcome to our conversation. We're talking about self-care. Yes, cortisol, exactly. Cortisol is the stress hormones that get pumped into our system when we're in that fight or flight, when we're traumatized. Exactly. And it's supposed to, our bodies are amazing, and it pushes the stress hormone into your body in order to quickly get out of a situation, right? But if we stay there, yes, Sue, of course, yes, moving your body, it helps our mental state and our emotional state. It does. It calms down the whole system. Hey friend, my name is Svava Brooks. What's your name? So glad you're here with us. Feel free to introduce yourself. So, yeah, and we've also talked about it, that if we don't, you know, pay attention to how stress and, exactly. It's only meant for short bursts. Absolutely. But it's when we're in it chronically, then it's really, really hard on our bodies, and it's really toxic. Hey Ryan, good to see you. Glad you're here. So any other thoughts? What does choosing you mean to you? Yes, say hey friends. The whole gang is here. We chit chat, talk about healing and restoration after trauma and abuse. Great. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Today we were talking about how important it is to put ourselves on the top of our priority list, because it's important for our self-care. I would start with something very simple, getting coffee on the way to work. Yes, there you go. It states by its own virtue that I feel worthy. Exactly. Beautiful. Yes, I'm asking us to be very intentional about this, because it is a big deal. Awesome. Great. I'm so glad you're here. Just thinking about it. Exactly. Because, right, what we have struggled with perhaps for a long time was, you know, we wanted to feel good, right? We wanted connection. We want to have relationships with people. We want to get out of feeling, you know, maybe isolated and sad and stuck in our past. So all of those have become very kind of so normalized, our thoughts and feelings about our pain and maybe feeling sad and isolated. So we have to be intentional about choosing, and I guess shared, and I've shared many times, it's like I didn't even know what it looked like or felt like to be good to Svava. Like, what does it feel like to respect Svava? What does it feel like? What does self-care look and feel like? That was challenging. Breaking away from old habits of trying to be perfect and please everyone. Yes. I can't call you in person, no. Thank you. Thank you. So it's like we have to be super, super intentional about this. Super, super intentional about this. So, oops. Making sure this doesn't fall over. So any other thoughts that come up for you? Like you guys have already mentioned, and I wrote down for myself again, because this was so important for me, like showing myself that I care about myself, that I respect myself, that I value myself, choosing me, choosing to make time for Svava, doing, all right guys, hold on. That I'm my own best friend, right? That I am really paying a close attention to what Svava needs, and being very, very intentional about, you know, about my self-care and about my day. I'm at that profound stage again. I had a truth bomb moment. Had a Svava truth bomb moment. Okay, Rob, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear it. Anybody else have some thoughts on that? Being more patient and kinder to myself. Yes, Sue. Exactly. That's all a part of it. Exactly. Yes, the very thing we've been longing for, right? Is that we start, when we slow down, pay attention to what we need. It's providing that for us. So important, so important. Just realized that by getting us to think this, I started to feel worthy. Yes. Happy dance. Happy dance. Yes, exactly. Exactly, exactly. We are worthy. But we don't even know what that looks like, right? But once we start exactly. Exactly. Everything happening out here will happen anyways. Exactly. But it's like, wait a minute. How am I modeling to myself and the world that I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm kind, I'm compassionate, right? And it's the most courageous thing that we do, is to really honor our truth and who we are and our needs in a world, right, that is pushing for us to preferably never pay attention to ourselves, always be focusing outside and needing something from the outside world, preferably want to go buy something, or just constantly be out there in the consumerism, right? Exactly, because it's the inside, exactly, to fill that hole, exactly. Yes, got it. So beautiful. Exactly. I know. It can feel a little bit scary. So why is it scary, guys? Gap is love shape. Love it. So why is it scary, guys? Let's talk about that. Jeremiah, you took it just right into the deep end of the pool here. For one, it is. It's unknown, right? What do you mean? this is new territory, right? Beating myself up, self-sacrificing, being stressed out and tired and exhausted, taking care of everybody else. I know how to do that. This, whoa, right? What's going to happen? This is completely new. Exactly. And underneath it, right, Sue, is that if we start doing this, our fear underneath, exactly, we are afraid of discovering the hole. And what's in the hole? What's in the hole? Sue just said it, right? What's in that hole that we are so afraid, if we actually start to do the things that we suspect might make us feel better, that there is a deep, dark secret in there? Anybody's gonna say it? I'm not gonna say it this time. It has something to do with our beliefs, a really, really deep, deep fear. Harder choice than remaining sheltered. It is a harder choice. It is. So Sue said it. She was afraid of not being worthy. So underneath, if once we start taking care of ourselves and we start to feel better, right? We are so worried that we will find out the truth, that underneath it all, inside of this deep, deep bottomless pit, yes, that there is that deep, deep core wound that, oh my gosh, it's true. I am not lovable. I am unworthy. I am, like for me, I'm a piece of shit. I'm stupid. Like those were my biggies, that I'm, I was left by my parents. So we fear that we are inherently bad. That's what's underneath it. And we're so afraid of getting to that truth. So we avoid being good to us. We'll just avoid it altogether. Exactly. So that so our old stories, exactly. So that our old story, see, it didn't matter that I loved myself. It didn't matter that I was good to myself. It didn't matter that I healed myself, because no matter what I did, they were right. And my false story was right. I am just inherently bad. And there's nothing I can do about it. That's one of our fears, right? And that's why I've talked about it's kind of easier to be stuck in the flow of misery. Like, misery loves company, as we talked about, that kind of energy in that space. And some of you may have noticed this about me already. It's like, a lot of the things that I put out there, I'm always talking about, hope, change, moving forward. I don't focus so much on the victimhood of things. I do every now and then, but I really want to empower you guys to start thinking from the other side, like to choose, to actively choose. This is the easier path. This is your, I know how to suffer. I know I'm bad. I know I shouldn't be speaking my truth. I'd better just pipe down now, right? But it's like, no. I am going to work through this. I'm going to choose self-care. I'm going to choose to love me. I'm going to choose whatever I need to do to heal my body. I've been through hell and back, like all of us. I'm going to make sure that the rest of my days, I'm going to make them count, right? I'm going to eat well. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to take good care of my body. Yes, it's easier to sit with the lies because it's what we've known for so long. Good, Rob. Yes, and I want out of it. Yes, and that's it, you guys. This was like the biggest aha for me on my healing journey. And I'm going to do here for you, like, I'm a very tactile. I need to do things to learn, right? I'm a learn on by, exactly. So in this hand is my old belief. I am bad. I am stupid. I am ugly. I'm never going to be good enough, right? Action oriented. Yes. over here, I know I'm loved. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm valuable. I know I'm good. 50 million times during the day, you get to choose. You get to choose your thoughts. Which one are you going to choose? Which one are you going to choose? So that's why, like, how did you put yourself on top of your list today? That was a choice, right? Yes. We need to give this false sense of identity, the ego, to give up. Yes. Well, I talk about it more. It's like a resistance. There's these ego parts, or these inner critics, or these false selves have developed as a way of protecting us, right? They are here for a reason. So I always try to befriend them. We don't want to just push him out because we can't. We will start a war. We will start a war. So, but recognize, what are my choices? And once you start to choose what's good for you, and sometimes when I started, I would sit and literally do this. I would literally, this is who I'm fighting for. This is who I know myself to be. Inherently, like all of you guys, I'm good, loving, valuable, compassionate, decent human being, right? That I would choose that. I'm going to choose that. I'm going to choose that. When I started feeling crappy about myself, and I'm really oversimplifying this for you guys for a reason, right? So choosing to go for a walk, to get my butt out the door, to go walk in nature. It is so good for me. I love being outside. So I'm respecting myself. I'm taking time for myself. I am valuing myself. There's so much that means, is underneath the choice that I'm making for me. Even though for a long time, who do you think you are that you can do this? What do you think people think that you're gonna take an hour every day for self-care? You're being selfish, right? It's like, nope. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am valuable, right? I love who I am. And this is what I need to be able to do what I do, right? The heart stuff that I sit and support people through, it's my responsibility. If I'm choosing to be here to help people through trauma, my body is my tool. My heart is my tool. This needs to be healthy and clean. Otherwise, I have no business being here helping other people. Doesn't mean that I don't have my bad days, right? Exactly. I'm human. I'm imperfect. But we are all work in progress. Still hard to say those things about myself. I understand, Sue. I do understand. And that's why it was very hard for me too. And when I started, that's why I was like, I had to, okay, I'm going to choose this. I get to choose. And that's why I said in the beginning of the text of today, choosing you takes courage. Choosing you is the most courageous thing you will ever do. Yes, yes. But it's your birthright. And you will give the world the biggest blessing when you start choosing you, when you get how much of a gift you are. But we can't give it away until we receive it ourselves. Right, guys? I went off on a little tangent here, so it is the only way to properly live. Yes. But again, I'm not here to tell people, what your values or beliefs are. So tell me more, Sue, about the ouch. I want to hear more. And then no one can take it either. We can function with the ego anymore. We will destroy each other. We can't function with ego. Well, I think it's a big so guys, tell me a little more about that ouch. We'll talk about the ego later, Jeremiah, okay? But because I see the ego as hurt and fear. That's what I see is underneath the ego. But guys, I want to hear more from you guys on the ouch. Tell me more about the ouch. What are you feeling? What came up for you? Good. The truth was slapping the hurt and fear with the fact that it's hidden for so long. Okay. So a good ouch. It's hard to be that positive about myself. You resist it. I hear you, Sue. And that's what I mentioned earlier. When we start, it felt physical. All right, Rob. When we start to choose change, exactly, you guys are both feeling the resistance. We need to work through the resistance. The resistance is a blessing. It has been a blessing in your life. It really has. So, and this is what I do with my my clients, one-on-one, is that no, you don't want to resist it, but we want to find out what the resistance is all about. And sometimes the resistance just comes up, like Jeremiah mentioned earlier, just because this is unknown, and our body and the part of us that's listening to this conversation is like, wait a minute, you're going to ask me to do something that I don't know how to do. Exactly. This feels risky. I know how to do this. I know how to keep you safe here. You start to do this. I hear you. You start to change, then all that uncertainty comes up. And that resistance may also worry, wait a minute, you're just going to throw me out now, right? So understanding the resistance. So I call it, we befriend it. And often through my inner child work, or just kind of going into the body and asking the resistance. So here's an assignment for you guys, if you want it, for the weekend, is to, if you're on a break, some of you have been put on a break from no more deep work, hint, hint, but if you're up for it, if you would like to get to know your resistance, think about it as a kind friend. It's there for a reason. We're not going to bulldoze through it. We can't change like that. Yes, we're going to start to make some different choices. We're going to start to choose. But whatever comes up, whatever rises up as we are starting to make these choices, we need to kind of get to know that resistance. What part of it is, what's that fear about? There's a story there. So so if you can get to know this resistance like it's a friend. It's like, hey friend, I know you're here. Why do you think you need to protect me? Exactly. Observe it. It almost feels like the resistance was having cognitive dissonance because it felt a positive change. Yes. Embrace it. Exactly. So how do you guys think, would you be up for trying that? I mean, that's one way. Another way that I do with my clients is just to kind of notice in your body. I mean, you could do it right after we finish here if you want it. If you're sitting at home, you felt something stir in your body from this conversation. Take a few deep breaths, make sure you feel grounded, and then go there and just notice and just like be a witness, be a compassionate witness to what's happening inside of you. And maybe just, you know, show up to the energy. Notice what the energy feels like. Is it in your solar plexus? Is it in your gut? Is it in your heart? Is it in your shoulders? Like, where did you feel it? And then just like, you know, hey friend, I'm just here I'm curious. I'm here to support you. You know, what would you like to show me? Why are you feeling, you know, whatever you felt? Was it fear? Was it tension? Was it cold? Was it hard? Was it warm? Like, really, really describe the feeling or the sensation that you felt in your body. If you're comfortable doing that, if you feel safe doing that, right? And then just become curious. Just kind of witnessing it. Oh, I can feel whatever, right? I see you. I hear you. I can feel you. And sometimes for me, it's very often when I'm going to go do something new, I put my hand on my heart a lot, as you guys know. And then, hey Nora, so glad you made it. Good to see you. And I will just tell my body, it's like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So just noticing. And my body relaxes. Usually I can feel it right away when I just show up. And sometimes just whatever is like letting you know, hey, I'm in here, I'm not so sure about this change, right? Sometimes we just need to let it know, hey, I can see you. I'm not doing this without you. I'm not going to do anything you are not ready to do. I'm not going to do anything you don't feel safe to do. You are an important part of me. So what am I saying or doing that makes you feel this way? It's like you ask yourself that, because your body is just responding to your thoughts. Your feelings register after you thought something. And then just notice. And maybe have a dialogue with this part of you that you are feeling in there. Resistance is never bad. It's never bad. It's almost like an unmet need in a child, right? Or even for all of us. When we will resist because we're missing some information. I need more information to know that I can trust this, to know that this is a choice I should be making, right? Anyone that naturally goes like this, it's like, okay, what do you need from me? It's been alone for so long that gentle intro will calm and befriend the resistance. Yes, it will. Trust me, even our bodies have felt neglected by us, right? It's like there's nobody comes and checks in on me, right? And if anything, for so many years, I knew I hated my body, and I know I'm not the only one feeling that, and I hated it because what had been done to it. And so over time, I learned how to understand why I hated my body and what about my body that I hated. And then I learned to befriend it. I learned to be befriended. And my body didn't trust me for a long time because I had neglected it for a long time. So it took some time, took some doing. But my body is my biggest ally today. And that's why I am so adamant about taking good care of it. And I'm still learning. Thanks, my friend. Yes, this is doable, my friends. This is doable. And I know I make it sound really simple and easy and quick, but I also know, some of these steps took me, weeks or months even, and I really had to slow things down. It wasn't at this pace that I was able to heal and do things. It was at this pace and at the pace that my body needed. Just really slow down. Yes, I'm gonna slow down, my friend. I promise. I promise I'm gonna listen to you. I'm not gonna make you do anything you don't want to do. I promise. Your safety is the most important part for me. Exactly. Exactly. So, and then to admit that, it's like, I'm so sorry, sweet friend. I'm sorry that I've treated you bad. I just didn't know. I just didn't know. It was hard. There was just too much hurt in there, right? And again, you guys see what I'm doing here? This is another way to stimulate those feel-good hormones, oxytocin, in your bodies. Calms down your body, and so does the hand on your heart to feel the warmth on your body. So if you're looking for ways to start to befriend your body, these are some of those ways. So yes, guys, this was good. This was good. Are we doing okay? You guys doing all right? We started in the shallow end, but then we got over to the deep end and went a little deeper. So you're welcome, Jeremiah. Metaphysically earning the trust by being good to ourselves. Yes, exactly. It is a huge, big deal, friends. And the thing that, like I said, I did not know what it looked like to be kind and loving and gentle to Svava. I had no idea. So that's why these self-care tips that I'm giving you guys, they have a lot of, much deeper meaning and a much deeper importance to the work that we're doing. Because we are multidimensional beings, we need to heal all aspects of it, and this is how it all comes together. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're so very welcome. Very, very welcome. Happy to share this with you. Some of the stuff I learned the hard way, and it just makes my heart sing. Like I told you guys, if I can pass on this truth to you guys to make your life easier and journey simpler in some way, I know I won't be able to do the hard stuff for you, but I'm happy to help you put some of the pieces together and to remind you that you got this. You can do this. Yes, you can. And the support here and in the Facebook is just so crucial, that you guys are seeing and hearing from each other. You're not alone. You are not alone. You're very, very welcome. This will need some unpacking. Good, good. I'm so glad to hear it. And this takes courage, you guys. It takes courage in a world where the world does not want us to be different and think for ourselves and take charge of our lives. Doing this, standing up for yourself, figuring out who you are and what you want, it takes courage. That's why it's good to have community. And I'm so glad you guys are here. So, wrapping it up, some of you are going to take on a little challenge this weekend, right? To get to know your resistance a little bit. But for the rest of us, right, we're going to have playtime, right? What are you guys going to do for play this weekend? Let's end on that. Whoa, we went a whole hour. Anybody want to share what they're going to do for play this weekend? I left you all in deep thought. In the forest. Yes. Awesome. Love it. Anybody else? You're going to lose yourself. All right. Meditation. Nice. Jeremiah, I like that. I'm a big fan of meditation. Build a snowman. Yes, Lisa. Awesome. Love it. Cycling Sunday. Nice, Sue. Nice, Sue. I was thinking about you again today, Sue, as I was out my walk. I was like, oh, I forgot. I should have gone for a bike ride. So, Sue, sleep tomorrow. That's a good one, too. That's a good one. That's a good one, too. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys again all for being here. Thanks for popping in here last minute, Nora. I'm glad that you could catch us here for a little bit, but very good to be here with you guys. I just adore you all. So be gentle with yourselves this evening and have a fun weekend. And I will see you guys on Monday. I will be bringing my tissues. My daughter will be gone, right? I'm just playing, but I'm gonna need some emotional support from my team on Monday, all right, guys? I'm counting on you. Good, awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great, great weekend. Yes, the move will go well. I'm not worried. This girl is on top of it. She's a Scorpio, like everything is in order and on time and organized and, you know, so thanks, guys. Yes, thank you, thanks. Thanks for the love. See you Monday. Bye, friends.